think we're already recording right now. I think that should be fine. Should be loud enough. Excellent work. That was super. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, look at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping out, your knee knuckling, and you were gritting your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started to find innocence in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Anyway, it looks like we're expose your phantom lady at last. Miss Julie Brett, a student from Great Britain, she is. And that's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young lady with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have. You haven't. Haven't you? Sorry. I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my power of observations are the one thing I'm sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about your young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on the way out of the restaurant myself, then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table. I noticed there was a gun laying on the floor, and just after I bent down and picked it up, bang, another gunshot. Huh. I don't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me looking as white as a sheet, and then he blunted me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. And there you are. Well done, both of you. I guess that's the guy, yeah. Wait, out of curiosity. So, we were... So this was the kitchen, this was entrance. So, I'm guessing that we were right here, and then we were shoved in the kitchen. Get in here. So... I think that's literally everything. I wish there was a way I can, like, fast forward this. Because I remember last time we were able to hold down the A button for this one, but I guess it's not. Okay. Professor Mikatoba. Well, it seems that I was right. The pair of you make is an outstanding team. You're exceeding my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned from the start. You arranged things so that I would have been able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy, our justice system even more so. Which is why... Why what? I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young star overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyways. What? What are you saying? So so that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Well then, it looks like it's all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes. You need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I am very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Oh, do you? Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind asking me, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you probably are aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMI, and it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyways, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain and is well known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're up against. That gentleman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure that the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I have no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Yeah. Now then, I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck. Defendant Naruto. Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. Alright, here we go. It's time. Let's get back into it, partner. Let's get in there and deal with a decisive blow. Damn. Before those old fellas know what's hitting them. He's gonna get out the katana, huh? Wait a minute, am I? God damn it. I don't know what the fuck just happened. For some reason, it didn't even capture the whole gameplay. I don't know, for some reason it just like went to like a whole different screen. I don't know why. It was showing like the fucking, it was showing this right here, which I don't know why it was still like that. I don't know. I'll probably edit it out to try to fix it, so we'll do that. What? Thank you, really. For what? Well, if you haven't said you believed in me, then I'm fairly sure I'm already be found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend, I'm coming from you. It means a lot. if I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream for studying abroad. That's kind of a true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever's up against, we absolutely can't afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the things your thank yous for after the trial. It's kind of really hard to say that. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yumi Cafeteria at the University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. Okay. November 2nd, 12:09 p.m. Supreme Court of the Judicapture Courtroom Number 2. Why is it called Judicapture? I'm gonna get some soda. Alright. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryan Naruto. Prosecutor, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Your Excellency. Against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful censoring from the government. Sorry? Let the government subsing, that's their job, it's nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that the good relationship we forge with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down in our nation's founder? Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about. What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreigner government's opinion, a brutal investigation missing witness. Is this what our nation's justice system is? This is the Supreme Court of Japan, or of England. Shut up, you jump up rookie boy. You and your friend know nothing. Nothing in the situation our nation finds itself in. All aligns ourselves with the great world power will become stronger. The really has never been more critical. Stanley Political mattering is what I will secure our future. I don't know these words, man. I'm terrible with big fucking words. I won't deny that I am no expert. I'm just a student. And anyone who could really study harder too. By standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth of its justice system is a country with no future at all. Well said. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror. You little bastard. Oh, this is a little brat, sorry. Thank you, counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and existence solely for the pursuit of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking to the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Julie Britz. Yes. Your Excellency, what the fuck? So what does she look like? Wow, what a delight it was to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land. T, Someone bring English tea? In England, no discussion takes place without tea. Is that the truth? Is that true? No idea. So, him. Could it be possible? Could we possibly terrible you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Social. Yeah, I'm not gonna say his name. I've been working undercover as a head waiter at the. Oh, yes, we all know about you already, Inspector Hugan. Where are your manners? In England, we always say ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Yes, I think I am. Did I? Didn't I? Yet your description with the amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, but powers of observation aside, your powers to describe are socially lacking. Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. What? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what? Lady says that her name is Bretz. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in Yumi University Medical Facility. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear a dunit tone of the delightful language of a British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird singing. As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. Huh. So they obviously do fine in England. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, doesn't it? Nor you. You clearly have been paying attention to your English class. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may terrible you to confirm something, Miss Brits. 3 days ago, at the restaurant called the Carval, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? She's saying a lot of words just for yes. She said yes. What the fuck? This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She said that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting. When you were the one who engaged with her escape, I was just followed special orders from the brew. Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eye over the photograph print? Seeing that you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your present eye caught sight of the wicked pistol, perhaps? Apparently, it was very frightening and soft little sight. What do you mean to say? Yes, it would appear that the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Order. Order in the court. Did, did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have a absolutely conclusive witness statement. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Yeah. Sheath that katana. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify if you please. Kindly tell the court exact nature of the frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Oh boy. I guess he has to talk to her for now. I haven't arranged for the meeting of a slightful late lunch with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered myself only a beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit.
Yes!
No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Attention!
Quiet, you filthy wretch. Look at you. You black-haired blackguard. Holy shit, I can't even talk. And look at this Snow White angel. I'm sure even a dark mind scroll like you can't imagine whose words in court is going to believe. You're still making the same mistake. You mustn't blow out when you're golden like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. But he's so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took the statement from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the brew. It was decided that Miss Brew was not involved, so I let her go. The testimony of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in the question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as the day she is today. As you can see, there are no whereabouts of her person where she could a firearm. I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. Useless, and until the precise location where the witness is have to hide a weapon could be shown is not molten. There you have it. No pocket. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide the gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter. That's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove. Whoa, hey there. Ryan looking freaky today. Don't think about anything rash. But if I don't fire the gun I picked up, then there must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we need to pull her testimony apart. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Yes, Your Excellency. Alrighty. I arranged a meeting from a slight late lunch meal with Dr. Wilson that day.
Yes!
After 2 p.m. in fact, that's really a quite late lunch, isn't it?
Attention!
You don't keep up with the latest fashion from Britain, don't you? Late lunch are Virgo, isn't that right? No. Intensive English, no, is quite a sting to it. The gentleman is currently working at the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it appears apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. But on the day in question, the victim had other appointments at the clinic first. Yes, which we have proof from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Burrow and the victim went to lunch following of the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, it all makes perfect sense. Such a wonderful logic. What a shiny example of English intelligence this fine gentleman-woman is. So you both arrive at the restaurant. What happened next? The professor wasn't able to eat lunch, so I ordered myself only a beef steak.
Yes!
He was unable to eat, you say. And that was because he had a tooth removed at Hata Clinic Hotel, correct? I mean, Hata Clinic, right? That's right. You're supposed to actually check the witness before answering. Was Miss Burrow aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She heard the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak picture here. Is that right? That's right, yes. But that's something doesn't seem right though. Because you can clearly tell that in the picture right here, he got shot right behind the steak order. Excellently is it was left. Dear me, what a horrifying experience. To have traveled to a distant island from the far side of the world and establish such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I have to crush the evil fiend that has subjected you for this terrible place. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. That's right. Other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes. The professor wasn't able to eat, so he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the dinner toasted their lunch with the glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think about the witness's last statement? Oh, what the fuck? I didn't even read what the fuck that said. I thought that was gonna... Okay. Our last statement of yours, Miss Brennan, has a profound bearing to the case. Well, how fascinating. Do tell us. What is this profounding bearing? The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defendants called the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well sidestepped it, counsel. Very well, Miss Britton. Kindly repeat what you just said to the added official's testimony. Gladly, she said. That was brilliant. I'm going to remember that one. Which one? The significance will become apparently when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I hope there are some more useful tips you picked up from this experience than that. I ordered beefsteak for myself, and the professor said cheers over the glass of carbonated water.
Yes!
So both of you and the professor drank this carbonated water, did you? Wait, was it? Wait, hold on. I'm gonna see something. Can I? Is that really carbonated water? But I can tell that they said that they both drank it, but we saw that there's only one glass. Yes. Being the waiter, I poured the 2 glasses myself. Yeah, there's no 2 glasses, bro. There's no 2 glasses. Except you're actually a detective. And the beefsteak, that was you, Miss Brits. The lady said that she heard it was not customary to eat beef here in Japan. Until Japan opened its doors to the world. Yes, that's true. What a fateful place is the lady's opinion. I heard it's no especially to eat somebody to the Great Britain. Now that's awful. Every country has its own collision. As long as the people have food to eat, what does it matter what it is? True, come to think of it. The first time I tried carbonated water, it was such more than of a shock than the first time I tried beef. But anyway, back to the witness's statement. Somehow, I feel like there's something out of place in what she said. We need to pronounce the even to slaying things out, because you never know what might lead us to our goal. Our goal is turning this trial around. Understood. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor. I mean, I don't know. Should I just really, I don't want to read all this shit. Because I don't even know how much time I'll have left. I mean, we're already, almost 30 minutes in, but we'll just read this. I don't give a shit. I never got into an argument with the professor. And when I did, I noticed him, so I was going over there to say hello. Please, don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing that retort to you. I was meant for the lady next to you. But anyways, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Brennan does not appear to speak Japanese. No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyways. English is the future. We must speak Supiku Ingursashi? I can't even pronounce that either. I wonder if the prosecution will feel the same way forever, or only the presence of the beautiful woman. Well, that beautiful woman is telling beautiful lies with a complete straight face. I have to find some way to unravel her testimony, no matter how slightly infinite this may be. Yep. Anyways, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. That part ties with what you said it before, wasn't it? Yes, I still had some coffee to drink. And the next time you got up after that, it was when I finished my coffee and stood up to leave. Then Okay, yeah, we gotta do this first. Like I said, I did not shoot that gun. And like I said, there's no point repeating that actually over and over. Well, I wasn't expecting to be attacked by my own side. Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shooting range out of the restaurant you had a gun to your hand. Well, you see that's true, but all I did was picked up the gun and I saw it on the floor next to the professor and I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at the time, so highly suspected. Oh. So that would do. You directly rotten. Dirty. You baseless accused could very well cause an internal incident, boy. So it seems to me your accusing just are baseless as ours. What nonsense. The lady is mere stating what she saw, sorry. And this is already a international incident as far as I am concerned anyways. Alright, this is the last.
Yes.
Alright, this is the last thing and then we'll go ahead and do that one. It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Absolutely. I'm verified it personally. You verified it? Yes. Immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. And to suddenly remember she said, I'm not. That's all you did? You just asked her? Surely you can carry out a physical search, Inspector. No. Why on earth not? Horrible English gentlewoman clearly stated that she did not propose a weapon. That was absolutely no need for any further proposal into the matter. Or there was no permission given to any further proposal in the matter, perhaps. Think what you will, but you're going to continue with this personal claim that the refined lady was concluding a firearm. The prosecution demands that you support your restriction with facts. Sorry. In other words, he wants evidence. Huh? The lady wishes to point out that, of course, she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation, but she was in a hurry given the presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave. Not to mention the fact that your office had told you to get that woman out of there. Not to get her out of there, I just urged her to leave. The lady would like to point out that she is in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime, which is why she is only too happy cooperate and testify here in court today, of course. Unlike a certain student who refused to admit when the game is up. You could at least have consistency to pay attention when I'm goading to you. So she's maintained that you got to an argument with the professor at the end of which you shot it, which is out and out totally unfounding lie. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she is an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark context, you dressing from the head to toe in a dull black uniform. Sorry. I'm dressed exactly the same way as you are, except they're flapping red ribbons. Well, anyways, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as a fraction that is. If we can't do that, the trial is over. I already know what it is. Even with your thick skin, must have been able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room. Only too well, I feel half dead already. And the fact is I can't see a single internally testimony isn't making me feel any better either. The first thing to do is suppress her of any statement that seems slightly off to you. Well, yeah, we already know. It's the fucking glass thing. Do that and your opening will present itself, I promise to you. I need to expose the true face of the exotic forger that's hiding behind that mask. That's what I should be aiming for this cross-examination. Yeah, we already know. So I guess we'll do this one right here.
Yes.
Yep. That's it. Let me just confirm something, please. It to do with this photograph print. Just so a while ago, you spoke of this print showing that the victim's table at the crime scene. This was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady said. Well, it's odd. Very odd. Sorry, I gotta take this phone call really quick. Alrighty. Well, I probably might have to, God damn it. Oh, shit. Okay. Alright. Sorry about that. I have to go do something really quick, so I probably might have to, skip this part. So, sorry about this. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. So, oh, damn, man. I feel like it's been so long. Well, it's very odd. Dear me, what odd is it that defends inability to express itself? What is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers? Miss Britz just told us that she and the professor had cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass picture here. Were you supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over Melon? What possible difference does the present and absurd of a glass make on the case? Mature, you say. Could it be that the detective here removed the glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you trying to tell me that you can clink with only 1? You're quite right. You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. damn it. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Bliss who took the glass from the table. What? It was also terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I've been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious. What the fuck? Sorry. Why would she take the glass? There, as I assumed the court before, this is no consequences at all. Oh, please. Sorry. We must remember that the student had just murdered this lady's lunchroom companion before her very eyes. Who would blame her for concealing a glass or two in her stay of desert? That's absurd. Oh, really? But why take it though? So we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief? What? No. This can't be putting down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency, a small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. So she had a handbag, then that means that she's able to carry a literal handgun in there. So the beautiful lady has very gloriously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass is absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logic reason, but in the end, it comes to nothing. No more political accusations. You have wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered a significant explanation as to why she removed the glass. To think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel of the defense, are you in agreement? Well, I don't know really. Do you want to pursue this matter further? You're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yeah, you're right. So she took the glass away from her handbag. If there's any difference, then there is. Should we talk about... What should we do? Glass, handbag. Let's talk about the handbag. Because I feel like... Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes. Do try to keep up. It's already explained in the court that all the English gentlewomen carry handbags and small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Britt stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide the gun. But she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right. Well done, partner. I had a feeling you picked up on that too. What are you insulting, you little veiled blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor, and he didn't fire that gun when he seduced. There must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. You can't seriously be suggesting... Inspector? Yes. Did you or did you not search Miss Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. No. Order, order, order. What's the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, prosecutor? Why on earth did you you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the content at the time? Thanks to your brotherly incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now that we have a chance to expose the real woman's behind the mask, do you think so? Ah, shit. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. What? As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because it was unnecessary. What does it mean it's unnecessary? Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student's lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I can completely forgot about. This photographic print. What the fuck? This print is a photograph that I thought it would be present to take immediately after the shooting. What is that on his hand? Is that like a... Is that like a bowl thing? As you can see, it is clearly shown Miss Benz's handbag. Well, I never. You can see it right through... You can see through what's inside. What's inside? That's right. Apparently, mesh working bags like these are high of the fashion in London at the moment. So the content has clear visibility. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Sorry, I'm trying to look at something really quick. Okay. As you see, there is nothing to imply Miss Bristol's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that. Order, order. Inspector, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. The photograph, okay, so a photograph has been taken by... After the incident occurred, it shows that Miss is her girl's handbag on the chair by the victim's table. I think you have been long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel. The court has now been shown considerable evidence, as the photograph printed just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance. I am satisfied that there is no longer any room to doubt that this is a matter that I must take into my ruling. Indeed, there is only one logical conclusion: that the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible predicate of the crime. Sorry. No. Just when I thought it was the beginning to turn things around, I'm in the worse situation than I was at the start. Cousin? I'm sorry. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it? I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat while the strong eat. You were wasting your time. There is no way to defend true justice. The fact you can chew it on your heart's consent from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. I'm really going to be found guilty for the crime that I didn't commit. And Kazuma, his dream is going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Is there really no chance now to turning this trial around? You hear the judge. There's nothing about the last photograph the detective prosecutor produced that we can contend, which means there's no basic on which we can adjure to the trial continue. Very well. I will now proceed immediately through the ruling. It seems that we will have been able to report to the British government on time after all. That smuggled little. Having considered all the evidence placed before me, yes. I hereby found. Wait, Your Excellency. I don't think you can rule on this case yet. This amateur is getting tense. When His Excellency deems to the trial is over, he's giving his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom. Sorry, I can't even talk. Your Excellency, just a moment ago, you said this. As the photograph printed just submitted appears to have no further significance. There is no longer any room to doubt the matter, and I must make it my ruling. Now that means that if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail I mean, then ruling in the case at this time would now be out of the question. This is Bernard Stroka. Look at the photograph print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day of the question. And there have been no problems with the evidence. You better know what you're doing. Yep, we already know what it is. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glare any new information about this handbag. My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's despicable wheezing. Yes, I am despite, but this isn't a wheezing. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right, if I can only put my finger on it. Very well, I will grant the defendant one final opportunity. What? Oh, this is a new animation. But it'll be warned, if I am unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effects. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photograph prints Inspector Hugo submitted before. Will you identify the court where the prints you see is specific the detail which you have a rule? Well, it's obviously simple. It's this fucking thing. Look at this. Here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. Is that true? It looks almost like a burn or some description. Oh shit.
Attention!
Dear me, I was putting on what new pitfall you would come out with. A burn, you say? On the victim's wrist? Clearly, that has nothing whatsoever to do with the miserable lady's handbag. Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed that he was performing the post-mortem experiment. It was determined unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either. The more I look at it, the more I find in myself generally by considering the shape of this mark. Yeah, it looks like a fucking bowl or something. However, as prosecutor attorney points out, unless a firmer connection to the case can be shown, I can't allow any further time to spend on the personal details of this burn. No, what she said. Is there anything that kind of relates to this? What was that? Anything in here? Oh well. Let's see what she has to say. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem that Miss Brent has a lunch appointment with the dean and another university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. Oh, of course, my dear. We shan't hold you up any longer. I am quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyways. What do you think about this? Do you really believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But I don't keep pushing them all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging in hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? If we can just link the burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise this shutting door back open again. Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to proceed what is more little than conjure. What if we had evidence? Evidence that will link the burn on the victim's wrist into the case. Then will you allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I haven't noticed that burned. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice is the color drained from Miss Pearl's face. Really? I have to find some link between the burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. The time to find the evidence to prove that what was the burn really means. So then, the defense will now present the evidence to the court. The evidence that determines the cause between the victim's burn and the trial. What should I do? What evidence? Oh, the plate. I didn't notice that. Okay, I'll be honest. I didn't even know about it until like I'm thinking like, what could it be? Sorry, I don't even know if like a lot of people are faking this, but I didn't even notice that.
Yes.
What is this, Counsel? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe the photograph prints are amazing investigation. Wait, did it say investment? Invention. Okay, sorry. When we humans took at the scene, we missed things. But in the photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded there furthermore. Do hurry up, Rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite exhibible. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brits. You see, it's very clear visible with this other photograph. How did the victim come to have this unusual shaped burn on his wrist? The reason this record here furthermore. Forevermore. What? How? You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is this program that explains the reason for the victim's burn? It's literally right here, man.
Yes.
The beef steak? Actually, the point of the metal plate of the steak was served on. The plate? Your Excellency, are you alright? As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would have guessed that some sort of trademark of La Carva. This emblem on that plate and the victim's burn are the exact same shape. Oh, damn. You're a genius. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was presented at the restaurant. But even if that was the case, we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before or the day before that. Most likely happened at some other unrelated time. Well,
Objection.
sadly, the chances that are extremely slim. Thanks. Why? The outline of the burn is clearly describable, such as a serious injury that would have caused a quay commission to the restaurant. Would you agree, Inspector? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible distraction, certainly. But I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it was scaffolded long ago. And although it's not a particular large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defendant just pointed out. That there are no mild burns. There are no mild burns, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees, certainly a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable that was the victim would have let out a scream of pain then. It's been investigated at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone screaming at all. As the head of the waiter of La Carva, I can testify that without hesitation. But you're a detective, not a waiter. But wait, that doesn't... But it kind of doesn't make sense, though. I guess they'll explain it later, but like, if he had a... Because if you guys remember, his teeth got removed, so he can't even eat. So why is it that he has not only food in front of him with the plate? That makes no sense. There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on the piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of it. And yet Inspector Hugan never heard of the prosecutor's scream. Not on that day or any before. That's right. And the strangest thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate on the table like 3 seconds that day, that would have been beyond careless, I think, counsel. Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old acquaintance dealer, all of us would, without any question, hear him scream. Wouldn't you agree, prosecutor? So I'm guessing that he got this burn like a long time ago. Well, I suppose. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost didn't believe it. Do you think... Can it really be true? I never dreamt that we would arrive at this conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think it may be. We've been led to a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think that makes sense that implies invisible. Oh! That's right! He hasn't this one. He hasn't noticed the burn because... Yes, the professor, being as mindless as usual, was unaware that his hands falling into a pipe hot plate and didn't even notice the burning happened. You don't even know the professor, and yet here you are labeling him scatterbrain. How about I hold your wrist on the hot plate when you see how you're scattered cop? Perhaps the scream you let out would make you up a bit. Well, that it's nice to develop between us partners. Don't call me partner after coming out with such a nonsense like that. This is a critical moment. It may be very... Wait, did I pick the wrong solution? Because this is the reason that I remember that in the medical record, that they got him with anesthesia, which meaning that he can't feel any pain for the next 3 hours. So come on, you can do it. Or rather, you have to do it. You're the only one who can. There's only one explanation I can think of that makes sense. Wait, did I really pick it wrong? Wait, what should I do? Was asleep, was already deceased. Should I say already deceased? But what does that mean if he's already dead? I'm guessing it's gonna be this one. Because like I said, he had anesthesia. And it doesn't affect for like the next 3 hours, I think. Is that right? Damn it, I did the wrong thing. So he was deceased? Alright. I get your point. Okay, so he was deceased. So he was already dead by the time he got the burn? I must be fucking stupid. No man could remain silent when his wrist was burning on the piping hot plate on the 3 whole seconds, which clearly are impossible, apart with one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead. Already? Dead? Knowing what we know now, it's only an impossible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. That's madness. Order, please. Counsel, explain this absurdation at once. The victim was killed by the gunshot. That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. That's just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student. But clearly, he has no gaps in the fact. No, prosecutor. It's you who had no glimpse of the fact. I beg your pardon? As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered a burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down, or rather you're not glimpsed that yet. Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If this is true, as we now believe that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Byrne knows something about it. Sorry. Incredible. I certainly did not accept this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Britz, that you have to forget your lunch engagement. But Your Excellency, the justice system in our country may be at its phase, but rest assured, all reasonable doubts must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Thank you, Your Excellency. Oh. And now she's smiling. What was that smile? Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps the relationship between my country and yours. Miss Britz, you speak Japanese? Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country, after all. But then, why have you been speaking through an inspector until now? My mother's tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I am trying to avoid speaking to your vulgar tone as much as possible. I'm just Just all just like, the fuck? But it seems that the men in this land poses none of the clearly visible of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have a lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level. Oh, well, are you the epitome of the true English gentleman? We are truly honorable by this, the flesh consideration you so gorgeously afford us. I see. In that case, Miss Brits, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. What the fuck is going on, man? So you're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting. The witness testimony. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides a gunshot. If there are no other ways a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please show me. But of course, this country's influence investigation technique probably would have picked up on its way. This is very interesting, I guess. Ah, man. The most curable and beautiful testimony will go down in the supreme history. Thank you. Easy does it. I hope this is the last time I will have to slip my lips with the coarse tone of my unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. Not at all, not at all. It's all delight merely to hear you speak, oh dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this bushel talk of the victim's birth is utterly irrelevant. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. The Minister of Justice? May that eternal little bully of a student be given the hardest punishment possible. Amen. Huh? Thanks? What was that prayer then? Well, you have forgotten the irony, Miss Brits, and pull up the cross-examination now. I expect you notice that this little bully of student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure that I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination for this trial. If you fail to determine any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling it in the case immediately. Is that clear? The fuck? Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed the cross-examination. Alright, this is it. The final fucking game, man, of this victim's death. Fortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. Yes! Yes, we gotta promise everything. But his hand was on the steaming hot plate for the last 3 whole seconds. You can't even have noticed? Do you think so? Let me ask you something. Sorry. Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly of those back doors of yours has been wide open. I can't have any heavy notice. Can you? What? Damn. Haha, what fun. You haven't realized. The dear lady is absolutely right. As your friend, you're embarrassed me as well as yourself. Why didn't you tell me? Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He has chosen horrible silence over a vinegar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing? Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can. Well, I can't. Anyway. Oh, okay. When the butler brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses to the toast. Yes! As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right? Dr. Wilson was already permitted to drink water at the time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink, correct, waiter? Exactly as you said, sir. Although, whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that. Damn you. I have enough English to understand that, at least. From the benefit of other of the court, that means bless you. I think that means the exact opposite. Anyways, as far as I heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause besides the gunshot. Yes, it was written here in the paperwork, a fatal hormone from a ballistic trauma. Yes. Luckily, all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body, then there was some other cause of death. It can only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end in this incident man's life. Sorry. But that doesn't make sense. That burn must have happened straight away when the plate was first brought to the table by the witness. By the waiter, sorry. Yes, that's true. If it had been cold earlier slightly, it would have been able to make a burn like that. And if the victim burnt his wrist on the plate as soon as it was brought out from the kitchen, then it must have already been dead at the point. Objection! Sorry, I was watching a video. And yet the fact is that the victim was killed by the gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to devote that, it was completely a waste of time. Kira is right. Ugh. If there is some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please show me. Yes! Without leaving a trace? If someone is shot, or struggled, or stabbed, or thrown from a high place, how would a person's life is taken if there are always telltale traces by the body? Quite right, my lady. As our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt about it. Isn't that right, Persephone? As I've said, I always aim for the flawless investigation. There would be some physical traces with all those causes of death, is it? But maybe there's some other way to kill someone that doesn't leave a mark. If heaven forbids you doubted me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it? Oh no, presence of thought. calling such a sweet young lady innocent into the question? On my honor, I'm not going to say the name, will cut down any who dares cast such appearance. A way to kill someone that leaves no traces. We need some evidence to back this up here. Yes, evidence. I want to check something. Would this say... I want to see what... Yeah, I think we have to do this one.
Yes!
Okay, we'll do this and then we'll cross-examine them. Interference? What do you mean by that? In the land of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at the criminal scene for later examination. But this is in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Is that so? Isn't that so? Quite right. La Crava is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction... Whoa. It doesn't even occur from your native detective to try to preserve the cause of the scene. Wait, how do I... What was that? What was that? Why does he have like a bubble? I'm trying to be a technical about this I can. Do you understand? Ha, a killing blow. A lady is a formidable such as is. She's beautiful. Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps actually is finally starting to see. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Burley just said. There was a moment before when something didn't quite seem right. What do you think? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm going to turn up any new information. Yes, as I suspect, she's a tough witness. We can find ways to break her testimony or the cross-examination will be over. But what would that mean? I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere else to find. What? There is one thing I noticed. Something that has been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Britt? Actually, no. About the person standing right next to her. The inspector. The detective? Yes. He seems to react a little strange to Miss Merle's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant if I might press an opening maybe. How do I do that? Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time instead of targeting with a woman herself, let's see what it can get out from the detective. Alright then. I wonder what Comes was thinking. I'll find out soon enough. I suppose once I press Miss Merlin on her last statement again... Okay, let's see what she has to say. Okay, what do you mean by that? The last... So... Quite right.
Wait.
Yes, there it is again. The detective reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stands with Miss Brits as her inspector. But things are very different now. From this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This is a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're unusual very carefully not let anything slip. However, when they listen to someone else speak, you'll find them often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man that his train of thoughts. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now. It's all you do with the witnesses, Mark. What Mark? At the moment, we focus on Miss Brits, who was the person actually making the girl's statement. But moving the marker left and right with the left and right D-pad, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witness, you'll be able to pursue them with pressing A. If you catch the person with just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere among the people on the stand, take a look again. Alright then. So I should move the marker across with the left and down D-pad to focus on the detective, pursue him with A. I see what's on his mind. Here we go.
Wait. Excuse me.
What the? What's the meaning of this? This is out of words. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He's really has lost of his thoughts deeply. It looks like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard of what the lady next to you had to say. If there's something you'd like to say, please share it with the court.
Attention!
What's the meaning of this? If the delightful Englishwoman who testify at the moment, if you can't find the fault in her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately. Oh, this is how it works? Absolutely not. Huh? The detective is in the stands, which makes him a valid witness. He's scared. Yes, not to mention the fact that he intimate involvement in the case. Inspector? Yes. Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brits? Well, yes. If you don't mind, I would like to speak too. I would like to speak. The lady is right. Our country police practice are not as modern as those usual in Great Britain, which is why I always strive to make every investigation and my involvement in flawless. So what do you really mean by that? I'm telling you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I might not. I might. Oh, I can't even talk. Holy shit. I might not to take everything I can to find the scene of the crime and pursue its evidence. You see, I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief, but I'm sure of that's what I've done. A crime scene thief? Well, looks like the lady's remarkable touch unnerves there. Take this, for example. Oh, what is that? Is that? It's the bottle of carbonated water that I took from the victim's table from the day of questioning. And yes, it's lost all its fuzz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water, so I don't care what everyone says. Yes, there's something left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best of the world. The time is coming. I guarantee it. I can't say I conduct with the witness's action, but I do understand the statements. Court will accept the glass bottle as evidence. Carbonated water of the victim is British share on the day of the victim. It was on the victim's table. Miss Britz, can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you have drank from the day of the victim's death? Yes, that was the bottle. What was that about? She seemed to be effective of her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well. Counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor. Can we look at the bottle really quick? Why is this bottle? The label is written in the foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says? I think it's French. Must be very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I'm asking. Then go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know. But what's so special about this bottle? This is confusing. Is it... Why is this so special? I'm gonna... I don't know, man. I'm gonna save just in case. Should I do this one? I don't know, man. Oh, which one is it? I think... What did the autopsy say? Single bullet fired at close range. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistics trauma. No exit room. Bottle did not pass through the body. That's literally all it just says. Maybe we'll do the glass bottle and see what happens.
Yes!
What is it? A bottle of water? Actually, there's one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Poison? On the day on his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from the bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip of his glass? Order, order, order. And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to sip the poison into his drink? There was only one person who can possibly do that. Done it. Julie Britz. It was you.
Objection!
She's not even like she's not even like triggered at all with that shit. Cause it looked like that there's no telling how. I mean, I don't even know. This is outrageous. To just suggest such a thing without scrap of evidence. You little rookie, imbecile. You have even considered the delicate situation that our country finds itself now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed a accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the very ink that you rash occurred just appear? Jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
This is not a particular arena. This is a trial to determine one individual guilt with respect to one crime. What? The fact that the woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. If I may, I will... Oh, shit. It is you who should be silenced. Oh, shit. Oops. Sorry, I dropped my controller. Oh, damn. Did not mean to do that. Of course. My dear lady. Where did that come from? She just snapped. I'm afraid I might have been spoken unfairly before. I offer my most honorable apologies. I'm sorry, my lady. What do you refer? I describe your police force as inferior, But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigate this particular point, though, I believe. The bottle, I mean. The inspector. And rather if it contained poison or not. Of course. You did? I've forgotten what my guiding principle is already. That I strive to flawless investigation every time. You don't believe that? Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and it contains. And what did you find, Inspector? I ordered a test for even toxin that available in this country at the present time. We can find no trace of poison or any duration in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests were mere carried out by the chief coroner himself. No. I'm very grateful for all you Japanese. You successfully established my complete innocence in this horrible affair. Thank you. But of course, dear lady, the pleasure is all ours. I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into pieces if he was poisoned. Thank you, counsel. I think that cross-examinations has classified everything. As the prosecutor have arrested a shot into the chest from the gun that is only convinced of the cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by this own admission was holding this weapon, is only possible component. I'm done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great convenience that this caused you, Miss Burtz. Oh no, I'm just glad that the matter has resolved. Before we proceed, I may ask the counsel for defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this point? Kazuma? I'm sorry. I have nothing more. Well, if you excuse me now, I must be leaving.
Hold it!
Oh shit. Oh, it's the girl. Please, wait. Isn't that... What's the meaning of this? Forgive me to intrude in court, plead, Your Excellency. Sato Mikatoba, Injustice Assistant to the defendants. Mikatoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. In her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in the forensics cloth. To be continued. Oh my god. Ah, damn, man. Are we ever gonna fucking finish this damn trial? I thought that was gonna be it. Well, I guess that's it though. So we'll just leave it at that. So, gonna say thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. So my name is Alex, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.